Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to Western Wednesday. My horse Naysayer and I are really glad to be back hosting this show again for you, right? All right. So, welcome back once again for another edition of Western Wednesday right here on the Real Pastors YouTube channel. Unlike Monday, I'm excited for today's episode because I was go ahead and be honest with you, talking about a much better movie today than we did on Monday. And wherever you guys are watching, I don't know why the Hail Mary is up there. Excuse me, I made a mistake. There we go. Wherever you're watching, I just want to say I am much obliged that you are on this journey with me today. And so I've been asking myself lately, what's the future of Western Wednesday? How often do I want to do it? Well, I think what we're going to do is every couple weeks, maybe once or twice a month, we'll journey along together on Western Wednesday. I want to keep it fresh. You know, I want to, uh, there's a lot of Westerns to talk about. Some I haven't seen, some I have seen. And, I won't just be talking about modern Westerns like I am today. There's a lot of old stuff that I want to journey through and talk about. Some stuff I haven't seen. Maybe some John Wayne, maybe a little bit of Roy Rogers. Heck, maybe we'll talk about some of my favorite TV westerns, such as Gunsmoke and the great miniseries Lonesome Dove. So, like we said before on the Real Pastors YouTube channel, we're in this for the long game. We're enjoying doing it, and I want to apologize to you folks that it's been quite a bit of time since my last episode of Western Wednesday. Had some stuff going on, but glad to be back, and I'm saddled up and excited to talk about a Western movie with you today. So, with that being said, if you're watching along, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, however you're watching, I just want to say, hey, thank you for watching. Much obliged, as they say in many of the Western movies and TV shows that I watch. I'm not sure what it means, but people say that in appreciation a lot of times. So, my obligement is to you. So, as you watch this episode today, I just want to say anything comes to mind. You got an idea for Western Wednesday, a movie you want me to talk about? Comment, and I will look into that. And maybe it's something I've never seen before. There's a lot of westerns, a lot of westerns. Unfortunately, believe it or not, I have not seen them all. I have not. I wish I could say I have, but I haven't. Maybe there's some stuff I haven't heard of that you can tell me about. So comment below and let me know what are some westerns you would like me to talk about here on Western Wednesday. Probably gonna be doing every other Wednesday. Um, yeah, so just to keep it fresh and yep. So yeah, so today on Western Wednesday, I've debated for a while when do I want to talk about this movie because you can't do a Western movie show and not talk about today's movie, today's Western. I thought, do I want to go ahead and talk about it, or do I want to wait? You know, but daggone it, partners, friends, viewers. The other night, I was like, you know what? It's time. I can't wait to talk about this movie, and it is the movie above my shoulder here, right there, Tombstone. You see that poster right there? I had to have it, and if you see, if you can see right up here, it says "Justice is coming." It's got the Earp brothers and Doc Holliday right there, and they are going to solve some problems in that poster. So that poster belonged on the wall, but I want to share another poster here where, if I can figure out the buttons, excuse me, folks, a little rusty here. Nope, hit the wrong one. Technical difficulties. Please excuse me. 1 second. So check out this poster. I found this today. Right there. Boom. I just thought that was a pretty epic poster. You know, I wish it said "Justice is coming" underneath here, but Efren and I, we're big fans of posters, you know. And this one has some epic posters. And I used to have, so I own this movie on Blu-ray. Let's go ahead and tell you. And there used to be a DVD edition of this movie that was like a booklet, and it had just such a really cool poster. So yeah, we got two representatives posters here. We got behind me right there on the wall, and right here. Just found that on the Google machine. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna throw that on the thing here. So we got Cole in the chat saying yes, indeed, Cole. And Cole, right on, man. Top five favorite movie of all time. Yeah, you know, I feel like sometimes, and I'm trying to get better at this, but whatever I think, my emotions show on my face. And you know what? I feel like when we start these shows, whatever movie we're talking about, I think I play my hand too soon, you know. And you viewers probably think you know exactly what I think about the movie, if I like it or not, within the first few minutes. I'm getting better at that, but yeah, this movie, I'll go ahead and tell you, I love it. I love it. Unlike Jurassic Park 3, which we talked about on Monday. If you haven't seen our Jurassic Park 3 episode, check it out. It's a little depressing, but you should still watch it. Um, so as we go into Tombstone, I got some movie fast facts for you for this Western. All right. So, fast facts about Tombstone. It was came out in the year 1993. The director of this movie is a man named George P. Cosmatos. I don't know if I pronounced that right. However, there's a lot of rumors. Cole, I don't know if you know this. Comment if you do. There's a lot of rumors that Kurt Russell actually, unofficially, low key directed this movie. He was kind of the one, Cosmatos. I can't know if I'm saying his name right. Like I said, he gets credit for this movie for directing it, but a lot of people say Kurt Russell was the brains behind this movie. So I don't know if you knew that, but fun fact. A lot of people say that. Let's see what else fun facts we got. This movie had a budget of $25 million. Box office, folks, we got a hit on our hands. Yeehaw. Box office, $56.5 million. Doubled his budget, more than doubled his budget. All right. So, all right, that's not numbers we talked about with these Jurassic Park movies, but that's pretty daggone good. You know, it really is. So that's some movie fast facts for you. So we got a comment here. We got Mr. Rosario, Efren's dad. It's Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer. Sounds like I should have gave this movie a chance, sir. Yes, you have. Yes, you should have. But it's not too late. Check it out. Really good movie. Really good movie. As I said before. So my history with Tombstone. I obviously love it. I got the poster behind me. I started watching this movie at a young age. I'll be honest. Probably not a movie for kids. But most westerns aren't. Let's be honest with you. Um, so, Cole, hold the thought there. Cole is in with some fast facts here. Thank you, Cole. Yes, on the DVD version booklet you mentioned earlier, you can see him as co-directing this movie. Cole, thank you, sir. So it's pretty official, yeah. Co-director Kurt Russell. Hey, Cole, do you have the booklet that came with the map of Dodge City? That was pretty cool. I have the I sold my DVD to get the Blu-ray. I don't know, I shouldn't have, but yeah, the one I had a map of Dodge City. I think I kept the map though, but don't tell the person I sold it to. But so I started watching this movie. It was about fourth grade, and I was once again captivated by the Western world within the movie Tombstone. And this movie just added to my Western love. And funny story, I first saw it on vacation with my family. We went to Delaware. Brian Stanton, if you're watching, it was with your family. Went to Delaware to see your aunt and uncle, and we rented a bunch of movies. And Tombstone was one of them, and we watched it, and I immediately fell in love with it. And Brian, if you're also watching, I also remember every time we went to the movie store, I would try to rent a new release, and you would rent Tombstone. I remember thinking, why don't we just buy the movie for the kid? He should own it by now. Well, anyway, that's my history with Tombstone. Been watching it for a very long time. And Cole says, yes, he has the map. So I knew I wasn't crazy. There's a map of Dodge City. And that's such a really cool release, physical media, stuff like that. I'm a nerd about stuff like that. So, the plot of this movie, if you do not know, all right, Wyatt Earp, he's ready to walk away from his life of law. He's ready to settle down. He's already got a reputation. He's the most successful martial lawman in the West. Everybody knows Wyatt Earp. He's ready. He's done with that life. He's ready to settle down. Him and his brothers, they moved to Dodge City to start a new life. Their law is done. They're going to live in peace with their ladies and start families, start making some money, and just start living a very good life, a calm, peaceful life. Well, folks, Dodge City had other plans. Okay, I'm just going to tell you. Dodge City was a pretty brutal place. It was run by a gang called the Cowboys. And over time, these guys are some pretty bad. These guys are some pretty bad guys. They're pretty ruthless. If you've seen the movie, so I got a comment here. Stop here. I love the comments. So we got here. We go. Sean says, I haven't seen this one yet, but I'll be waiting for the Outlaw Josie Wells. That one's gonna be coming soon too. That's another great one. But yeah, check out Tombstone. Yep, I'm surprised you've seen Josie Wells, but not Tombstone. It sounds like a double feature is in your future. So over time, this Cowboys group just continues to do whatever they want. One of the first quotes is, "Hey, law don't go around here," because they know Wyatt Earp's in town, and he's like, "I'm here. I'm not here for that. I'm here to start a new life." Well, over time, Wyatt Earp's brothers can't take it anymore. It's within them to do something, to do what's right, and defend this city. See this? I don't want to give all the movie away because some of you said you hadn't seen it. I'm not going to spoil anything. However, it's within them to do what's right, to fight for justice. So one by one, the Wyatt Earp brothers, they enlist, they get their badges. And then, long story short, justice shows up in Dodge City. And it is an intense, brutal, and daggone crazy time on this Western journey. All right, so one thing I want to talk about here, we went through the plot. I forgot to mention something. You see that Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer are in this movie. They're the stars. However, let me read this cast list for you. All right? You want to talk about a cast? Check this out. Kurt Russell as Wyatt Earp. Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday. Sam Elliott. Bill Paxton. Powers Booth. Michael Biehn. Jason Priestley. And a cameo, a quick scene with Charlton Heston. Folks, that's a cast right there. All right? That's a Western cast. Holy cow. That's a cast. Now, Kurt Russell is billed as the star of this movie. He's right there on the front there. He's Wyatt Earp, of course. However, I gotta tell you, this movie is stolen by none other than Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday himself. Val Kilmer is the best part of this movie. His portrayal as Doc Holliday, and Cole, comment along, let me know if you agree. He's one of the best characters in any movie. He is ruthless, he is hilarious, and he is just an amazing character. And Val Kilmer, I don't think Val Kilmer gets enough credit, to be honest with you. Val Kilmer in the 90s did some really great stuff. But this, in my opinion, is his best role. And let's say, on Val Kilmer, he probably would have been a better Batman if he had a better writer and a better movie. Just saying that. I'll leave that there though. But yeah, great cast. The plot is amazing, and the reception of this movie is top notch. I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about Tombstone. This is what I've heard. Well, I haven't seen that yet, and I recommend it that people go watch and say that was a great movie. Or people just love it. People say it's their favorite Western. I go back and forth, honestly, with y'all. I'll be honest with y'all, you folks. Cole, I see your chat. I see your comment there. Oh, we'll get to quotes soon, sir. We will get to quotes soon. But I hear you. That's just my game. Anyway, where was I? People say, it's their favorite Western. I go back and forth between this one and Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, to be honest with you. Depends on the day. Um, but or this right here. People who don't like Westerns will also say they like this movie. I hear people all the time. I don't like Westerns, but I love Tombstone. Okay, so yeah, Tombstone is a great movie. So all right, best thing about Tombstone. This is one of the most quotable movies of all time. Does it have the action? Yeah. Does it have the drama? Yes. Does it have the gunfights? Yes. Is it violent? Absolutely. Indeed. However, because of Val Kilmer and Kurt Russell's got some pretty good lines in this movie too. Don't you agree, Cole? Kurt Russell's got some pretty good lines in this movie. Uh, but I could sit here for hours just quoting this movie. But I ain't got time for that. I got to get back to work. It's Wednesday. I got youth group tonight. Got to get prepared to throw some dodgeballs at some middle schoolers tonight. And anyway, I'm gonna read you some of these quotes. All right. All right. Of course. Where should we start? One of my favorites. Okay. It says, Doc, you ought to be in bed. What are you doing out here? What are you doing this for anyway? Doc Holliday says, Wyatt Earp is my friend. He says, Well, I got lots of friends. Doc Holliday says, I don't. That part just gets to me. Let's see what else. Make no mistake. Speaking of, this is Doc Holliday speaking about Kurt Russell towards the end of the movie. Make no mistake. It's not revenge he's after. It's a reckoning. And of course, we'll go back to Cole's comment. I'm your Huckleberry. Such, I mean, yeah. I mean, he comes out of nowhere. Michael Bing's character, he's had a little bit too much at the saloon. He's angry. I don't want to give too much away. And he's calling him out. He's ready for a gunfight. And out of nowhere, what does he say, Cole? I'm your Huckleberry. That's just my game. All right. Let's see. All right. And my all-time favorite quote from this movie, right here. Here we go. In the middle of a gunfight, Doc Holliday's been at the saloon. He's been playing poker. All right. A lot of poker playing in this movie. And he's playing the piano. Well, a gunfight breaks out in the streets. Everyone knows Doc Holliday. Let's just say he's had too much. And Billy Clanton comes up to him. He says, Why? It's the drunk piano player. You're so drunk you can't hit nothing. In fact, you're probably seeing double. Doc Holliday pulls out 2 guns and he says, I have 2 guns, 1 for each of you. Boom. Love that quote. Love that quote. Yeah, this is a quotable movie. It is, and like I said, Val Kilmer, he steals this movie. He absolutely steals it. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's great. So, all right, let's go to the good. I've already talked about the good, I'll be honest with you. So let me see here. Let me go to some of my things here. There we go. The good of this movie. The cast. The quotes, like I said, Val Kilmer, and the story. All right, this is a really good story. I will say, however, there are a few scenes. Some of you might disagree with me here. There are, oh, here we go. He's over by the river walking on water. Yeah. Yes. Cole, you are the man. Where was I? Now, I will say, as great as this movie is, it does have some slow parts. Mainly, in my opinion, and thankfully they're not very long, the love interest of Kurt Russell's character of Wyatt Earp. There's nothing bad there, but this lady keeps coming around, and he's gotten issues with his other lady, and it just sometimes every now and then it bogs the movie down, but not so much that it's gonna affect my rating. I'll just be honest. What do you think, Cole? You think his love interest slows this movie down a tad? I know it adds to his story, and that's another thing. Some people watch a movie like this and they'll say, "Well, it's not historically accurate to what actually happened in Dodge City. That's not exactly true." You know what? If you watch a movie like this and that's your takeaway, don't watch movies. Okay, go read your books. All right, go read your books. That's fine. Stay over there. This is a movie. All right, it's based on a true story. All right. If I don't believe this is what Wyatt Earp did, then let me believe that. Okay. If I don't believe Doc Holliday is really like this, fine. Okay. All right. Fun fact for you. I think it was the same year. It was really close to the same time. Not Kurt Russell. That's Kurt Russell. Kevin Costner came out with a movie called Wyatt Earp. And folks, I'll tell you, we might have some fans of that movie out there. Compared to this, snooze fest. Snooze fest. Just saying. Just saying. Kevin Costner, I love you. Thank you for Field of Dreams. But yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. All right. So the good this movie, the cast, the quotes, the characters, the story, the way this movie is shot is brilliant. The action is really good, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The ending of this movie is my favorite ending in any western. I said it, and you're probably thinking, what about Unforgiven? What about The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? I'm sorry, those are great endings. The ending of this movie is so great. I will not spoil it. I'll just say one. I'll say two words, and those of you that seen this movie know what I'm talking about. The two words are "say when." Yeah, that's the ending, and that's how the movie ends. Yeah, Cole. Yeah, was that his wife or was it his girlfriend? I can't remember. I can't remember, but yeah, that whole stuff it does bog the movie down a little bit, but I don't think it affects it. You know, if you've seen it a bunch, you can kind of skip over that stuff. So, all right, let's see. That's the good. Where's the bad in this movie? I will say, if I had to say anything bad about this movie, is what we just talked about. Slows it down just a tad, just a tad. Okay. Um, the pastor. All right. This movie, like many westerns, it's the classic battle of good versus evil. You know, Wyatt Earp is battling his inner desire to settle down, his inner desire to start a new life and not be, he doesn't want to be a lawman anymore. He's been there, he's done that, he's ready for a new life, he's ready to retire. But he can't help it when he sees injustice, when he sees bad men doing bad things, he has to help this town. you know so what I would say there is sometimes in life we have to stand up for what is right, and sometimes it's going to hurt. A lot of times it's dangerous, and we have to step out of comfort and peace, and stand up and do what is right, stand up to evil. And that is, in my opinion, that's the underlying theme of this movie. you know there's this battle between him and his brothers. That's some of the best part in this movie. Sam Elliott and Kurt Russell going back and forth on if they should continue, if they should do something. And Kurt Russell said, this is not our fight. This is not our fight. And Sam Elliott said, this is who we are, Wyatt. I think that's what he says. I cannot do a Sam Elliott impersonation. By the way, Sam Elliott, right? Probably the coolest people to ever live. Seriously, Sam Elliott. What a treasure that man is. You know? Let's see. Stephen Kiger says, still have not watched it. I watch a lot of movies. Haha. Well, you know what? Part of me is excited for those of you that say you have not seen this movie. Go check it out. I'm serious. Go check it out. I will say, however, it is violent. It's Western violent. There's some blood in this movie, um, and there's some language. I need to let you guys know that there is some language in this movie. Not the thick language that Efren and I talk about trying to avoid, but it's got the Western language. Sitting around a saloon playing poker, how maybe they would have talked. It's got that in it. So just keep that under advisement. It's got some language. Um, so yeah, uh, the dad in me, it'll probably be a while. Even though I watched this movie as a fourth grader, I turned out okay, I guess. This will be a movie I want to show my kids one day, because it is such a classic. But it'll probably be a little bit, maybe in the teen years, um, just to be safe. Mainly for that story we're just talking about. So look at I like to look into movies very deep, and just say look at these men here that stood up and did what was right. You know. Um, so yeah. Well, folks, I'm ready to rate this thing, and I kind of went back and forth on it, believe it or not. What should I rate this movie? Because I do have those slight issues with the slowness of his love interest. However, I don't think it bogs it down so much for me not to give this 5 Hail Marys. Tombstone is a Western masterpiece. I love it. I can't. I love revisiting it every year. I pop it in the Blu-ray player, and I have another Western cinematic journey with Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday and the family. But those of you that have not seen Tombstone, check out the rating there. It comes highly recommended by me, and it is a wow. It's it's an intense movie. Okay, it's an intense movie. I'll just be honest with you, but it is a great movie, and check it out. But keep in mind, it is violent and it does have some language. Okay, not like I said, thick language or that over the top violence, Western violence. You know. So anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, folks, thank you for saddling up and going on this journey with me. I have had so much fun talking about one of my all-time favorite movies. And you can take 2 posters there in my office here, and I've talked about them here at Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. We had Tombstone. Maybe we'll look around and review some other stuff around the poster collection. But I am much obliged for you joining me here today. My horse Naysayer and I have had a blast being a part of this. So Tombstone gets 5 Hail Marys. I'll be back in a couple weeks with another Western Wednesday. I'm not sure what I'll do yet. Maybe I'll go out of the box a little bit. Maybe I'll go classic. Maybe I'll watch a Western I have not seen before. That's what I'll do. If you have any suggestions, comment, let me know. And folks, I'll check it out. So hope you all hope you all have a great rest of your Wednesday. And if you have not seen Tombstone, well, partners, you got some homework to do. All right. Y'all come back now. You hear?